Hello, check, testing,
break, Mike?
testing.
Hey, Mike.
Me and Mike, Mikey and me.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right.
I put this hat on and I'm a different person.
Yeah. All right. Love that.
Have I ever told you guys about this popcorn bowl and how it used to live at my house when I was a little kid?
No.
Never.
Well, it did, and now we're using it to pull questions out of.
Oh my God! Hit the music. Producers in the truck.
You're gonna see my face. I'm like this.
Honestly, same.
Ooh, honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same. Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
The Magic Bowl.
Oh.
Good.
Put a halo on it.
Good.
That was bad.
No, in post-production.
Oh. Perfect. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's a new episode of Honestly Same. I am Ross.
I am Leah.
I'm Brittany.
And this is the bowl.
Yeah.
The magical
Yes.
bowl.
Our fourth guest.
With all of the different topics
With
and
all the
subjects.
dog hair on it.
Oh, there's dog
We'd
hair.
love to bring them out here. with
Very
us.
staticky. Very charged.
You know what we're doing at this point? All the subjects for this episode, they come straight from this bowl. Are we setting a timer for this?
Should we?
Yes. 20 minutes.
Apparently, it's my
20
job.
Well, you're in the captain's
Yeah,
chair.
you are in the captain's chair. But also, even if you were, we
Leah.
would look at you.
I've just
No
become the timer
matter where you're
person.
sitting, you're keeping the time.
Ooh, like
Keeping
it.
the time.
I didn't even warm up. That's how I sound. I didn't even warm
You
up.
literally sang the whole last episode, so.
Oh.
But we don't record 2 episodes in a day.
I'm
Nope.
wearing the same outfit. Let's.
These are brand
call a
new
spade a spade.
every single time. Timer ready?
Yeah. You ready?
It's time for the first subject. And
All
go!
right. Here we go, and here we go. Joe Rogan. Like, what a way to
Nice.
start.
What a way
Yeah.
to start.
I'm gonna.
He used to make people eat bugs for money.
So I
That's
used
true.
to watch Fear Factor like religiously because my mom would watch it. I hated the bugs and the food. I loved
Yeah.
watching them do all of the other stuff
the
because I would be
stunts.
like, I can do that. I was like 7, like
Like, I
put
can
me in that
ramp a-
airplane.
I'll
It's
ramp
fine.
a car.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But the bugs and everything, like
Yeah,
I would have been out.
Yeah.
So we
Absolutely.
just Fear Factor opinions is what we
Well,
have.
that's where I needed to start, and that also
Yes.
keeps me a little sane. It keeps me a little feet on the
Fair.
ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And remembering that was once who
upon a
he
time,
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably how his brain broke.
Most likely.
Oh yeah.
I actually do I have some thoughts on Joe Rogan.
Go ahead.
So back in the day, in the
You
early
guys were
days of
roommates.
podcasts, we lived together. I helped him start his podcast, and he has since not given me any credit. Yeah, back when there wasn't a billion podcasts that existed everywhere, and it was like his and a handful of other ones, I used to listen to his podcast all the time because I worked at a factory with nothing else to do. And back in the day, believe it or not, folks, his podcast was enjoyable. Save me. Save my
Also, I feel like
life.
it's usually not him that's I mean he is a big problem,
Well,
but
now he is.
he's less of a problem than his guests. So was he doing his podcast by himself then?
No, he had guests, and maybe just, I don't know, maybe the world was different, and if I went back and listened to some of them, I'd be like, wait a second. But like, his podcast was more about just like genuine curiosity and interesting conversations with wild and crazy guests. Like, obviously he had a bunch of UFC people on, but like, the ones that were the most fun is like he would have scientists on, and he would have like Bigfoot hunters on, alien people on, like they would talk about like conspiracies and lost societies and like all this sort of stuff. Or if he had like an athletics person on of some sort, like they would talk about like bettering yourself and like
Yeah.
optimizing yourself as a human, and, you know, like taking care of yourself and all this sort of stuff.
What does he talk about now? I don't know anything about Joe Rogan.
So I will say this with the caveat of I don't listen to
I
his
don't
show
either.
anymore. But I to be fair, I also stopped like well before it was probably like good to stop. Like I just kind of got out of it a long time ago after I was just like, whatever. So the caveat of I don't listen to his show now. So yes, I don't have all the context of everything, but a lot of clips, a lot of stuff that I see, and this like from him, it's
Yeah.
not like people reposting and like kind of editing things to make it seem like, I feel like the dude has lost his absolute fucking mind.
Yeah.
How old is Joe Rogan?
He's like 50s,
Yeah.
something
Okay.
like that, I think. I
Did they
just
still have lead paint back then?
probably.
It's
probably.
just
I'm just there's something weird.
I just
it's the echo chamber of like saying whatever you want and a million people saying that's
yes,
correct.
he's got the most popular podcast now, and it's like And I've also like watched him, like, I think there's some weird thing that fame has done to him where like
He's
as
just
he got
after the views and the
it's like
shock
as
factor
he
at
got
this
more
point.
famous, I feel like his view of the world got more skewed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
As it does for any
It
famous
like
person or
it's
people that
started
shit.
to like
yeah, it's like
constrain.
if you're around like a certain type of person long enough, you're going to start like acting
Emulating
the
and-
same way.
Yeah,
It's kind of
and-
like when you move somewhere, you know, sometimes you pick up an accent, like those types of things, whatever. But like a mindset is something that I like. My parents moving to Florida, their mindset for a lot of things have changed and have become like very dependent on the same things as like all of the people
Yeah.
around them. They all
Right.
have very similar, and I feel like it's like it's just a different form of that. Like you said, an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like I have a community of people around me and we all are saying these things and confirming them for each other. And I feel like that's what a lot of like
He has too much power for someone that is not like a professional and like what he wants to educate people on.
Well, and that's what I think started bothering me a lot is I was like, it's not just him like it's
Yapping
not
for
he
fun.
happens to have like an interesting conversation that maybe has some viewpoints that I don't like. It's not just that. It's like it's the echo chamber thing where like he kind of just accepted this role of like haha fucking whatever, which is now why Joe, that's why it's in here. Is
Yeah.
like, oh well, that's a funny hot topic because it's now a meme. It's a cliche at
And
this point
it
of
would be
people being like,
different if people didn't hang on his word like it was the
Yes,
Bible.
and that's-
like
yeah.
I would not care if he said every single word he said if people didn't think that he was our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Right.
Like if he just had a really
Yeah.
famous podcast and he was just that dude
yeah,
that said
it'd
dumb
be like,
shit.
all right, whatever, yeah.
I
yeah.
think that's a lot of that. There are a ton of people influential like that where they're out there and they're saying things and maybe it's a joke to them, but there are people who are like then receiving those radio waves
We
and
have
they are
lost
Yeah.
fully taking it as
context
like
and
yeah.
nuance and media literacy and to no fault of like the younger generations, they weren't in school the last like 4 years via like COVID and stuff like that, but like genuinely people don't know how to differentiate what's true and what's not.
No,
Absolutely.
and again, it's like it's kind of like it's cheesy, but like with the great power comes great responsibility. Like the power that he has gained with his podcast, I feel like he has fully forgotten or just said screw the responsibility of when he has people on or he says certain things. It's like he doesn't care that will directly influence a bunch of bros or a bunch
Yeah.
of people
It's
that
not
then are
just
like
entertainment
living by
anymore.
his word. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not, and like this is a funny example, but like one of the things that did solidify it for me years ago that I was like, oh, he's changed and he's very weird now. Like I said, a lot of the early episodes were just like him being curious about life and all this weird, funny stuff and aliens and comedians and all this sort of stuff. A couple years ago, he had like a UFO person on, right? And they were talking aliens. And like I watched this whole like 15 to 20 minute portion of the episode because I was like, oh, they're talking aliens again. Maybe this
Yeah.
is good. He spent that whole 15 minutes shitting on his guest, telling him that like, you seriously believe that, bro? You seriously fucking believe that what you saw was a fucking, where's your proof? And I was like,
Your whole basis of your career started on these
it
types of
started
conversations.
over like fun, wacky conversations that are like,
And now
again,
it's like,
being
we'll
curious.
prove it. And
And
I'm
here's-
taking this to the government when we're done.
Yeah, and now you're like turning into like this bro, like you have this person on your show and like you're giving them this platform to have this conversation while actively shitting all over them.
And
So
there's such a difference between like doing the like the interviewer like asking the hard questions.
yes,
And like
he was just being
yeah,
like
just
he literally
being a dick.
like when I turned off the clip, I felt angry because I was like, he just bullied that dude for 15 minutes, and I'm like, that's
well, when
just
there's nobody there to stop
I'm like
you.
you're just straight up just being an asshole. Like that's not.
Here's my thing. If you have any kind of platform and a voice that is reaching that many people and you're promoting things that are creating like negative feelings toward anybody, like instead of trying to create positivity and doing things that will make people want to be better people and not just be assholes, like I will never understand why anybody would want to have the kind of like fame that comes along with literally acting like a complete and utter asshole.
Yeah.
Like
Well, when there's no repercussions.
Yeah,
Really.
when you're just like the dude and everyone's like, fuck yeah, it's my bro. Like, and I don't know. This is the last thing I'll say on Joe Rogan, and then we'll wrap it up. Another thing that solidified it for me, where I was like, oh, he is just a fucking insane famous person who doesn't care anymore, is, again, I watched another clip a couple years ago where he had a guest on. They were arguing something, I think, relatively scientific or political, one of the two. And this is no exaggeration for the story. This is literally what happened. The dude he was disagreeing with, the guest, was like saying something that was like factually accurate. And like, if we're looking at like the right and wrong side of things, the guest was the right side of things, of like, no, this is just correct. This is healthy for people, whatever. And Joe was like adamant. He's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, blah, blah, arguing his like stupid side. So he has his producer there in studio to like pull up information so they can look at it live. I watched this dude get proven wrong live. Like, Joe was proven incorrect live. And the dude was like, yeah. And like, he wasn't even making a big deal. He was like, oh yeah, no, the information's right there. And Joe was like, hold on, let's read this. Reads through it, shows him that he's completely wrong. I'm not kidding. He goes, can we trust the validity of this website though? I don't think that makes any sense. And I was like, oh, you're gone.
Okay.
You're gone.
Yeah, because if you can't even like...
If you can't accept that you could be wrong about something.
Literally, like, just the most common thing of like, oh shit, dude. Damn, well, hey, you know what? That's my bad. I honestly thought this because of this information. You're showing me something different right here.
Yeah.
Good thing you're here on my fucking huge podcast.
You know what a normal human person would be like? Ooh, let me backtrack a little bit because I was just being very, very heatedly
don't know why I was feeling
wrong.
so intense about that.
Literally like doubled down and was like, well, the website must be fake. There's no way that's
and here's
accurate.
The thing,
and I'm like,
the reason
what?
you're so heated is because you think, oh my God, there's no way this can be true. This is so crazy. Like, why would you believe that? Because it's not true. And then you find out it's not true and you're still like, like you don't want this to be true, right? Like,
I watched him
like,
get flustered on his own show because he got proven wrong and like kept arguing it and doubled down. And that, again, another solidifier where I was like, you don't even like to have fun anymore, and you've just lost it.
Yeah, and
you're insane. Like, you're so far gone into like fame and brodom
that you think that you're above somebody who wrote this article who's probably a professional in whatever the fuck that article is.
Right.
Which is why they're on your show. Like, yeah, it's not just some dude. Like,
I just want to get back to anyone can have a podcast. Clearly, here we are.
Clearly.
Interviewers being good at interviewing. I can't stand watching an interview where like someone thinks that it's just like a mutual conversation when you have a professional explaining something to you. Yeah. There's not things that you can negate. Like, maybe there are like, if you're talking about like opinions, but like, I'm so tired of interviewers like close-ended questions, not liking the answer, so getting combative. Like, we have completely lost like the art of interviewing and like genuinely like conversations.
Right.
That's how I feel about Joe.
You know who's very good about it? Hot Ones.
Oh my God, he's the best. He's the best interviewer.
Okay.
Sorry, you're not Sean Evans.
Shave your head.
Bring us some hot wings.
Take all your
shave your head and bring us some hot wings.
You kept saying more mean things. What's the next subject? Change it.
Conspiracies.
Ooh. Okay. We could probably make a whole other hour of this, but
imagine that.
Ooh, so what? Favorite conspiracies? Favorite one?
Favorite conspiracy. Go.
I would say, I think it counts as a conspiracy, but the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a very good one. I love more of an unsolved mystery, maybe. Dyatlov Pass.
Mine's being an unsolved mystery too.
Yeah, Dyatlov Pass. We've talked about that on the show before.
That's the people in the woods. People
in the Antarctic, or not Antarctic. That's the thing, the movie. These people in Russia, the Russian Arctic.
But they were hiking.
They were Russian hikers, and they all ended up dead, and nobody knows why. And there's a lot of mysterious things that have been found at the site of death. To this day, they have no clue what killed them or how they died.
Say the name again for the people.
Dyatlov Pass incident. Go look it up. I guarantee there's about 1 billion YouTube videos on it. You can get all the information immediately.
That sounds like something I won't know how to spell.
Dyatlov.
That's very nice.
Dyatlov Pass.
Good job.
I would not have guessed that. Okay, thank you. You will text me that later because I will forget again.
I'm sure hopefully one of you can remember the name of this guy I'm doing an Unsolved mystery too. The guy from Ugly Tuna, Brian, that disappeared.
Oh yeah, right here in Columbus, Ohio.
Do you
That's
remember
a crazy
his last
one.
name?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So
wait, you don't know this story?
She will once I'm
okay.
Once she's done explaining
You don't know this story? There's no groundwork down.
You just say the guy from Ugly Tuna. I feel
I
I'm
did.
instantly like,
Yeah, that's true. That's like the telltale.
I'm like, that's it. There it is.
So there was a guy named Brian. I want to say this was like 2007.
Sure.
Thank you
Yep.
for the fact check.
Fact check. Sure.
He went out with like a couple of his friends. He was a medical student at OSU.
Okay.
He went out to a bar with a couple of his friends, and then they went to Ugly Tuna, the bar. Do you remember that? That was attached to the gateway, but you had to go up the escalator.
Yeah.
There's video surveillance of him going up the escalator that night, and then just literally there's no video evidence of him leaving, and he's been missing for like however many years, like
Wow.
probably 20
Yeah.
years ish.
He's
but,
just
like,
gone.
This
And
was
no.
in 2007, you said?
I made that
Well-
year up, but in that range, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We
I
all know
didn't,
2007
I
wasn't
also
real,
didn't
but-
live here.
It also could have been like 2013. I don't want to butcher it that bad. I really wish I could remember his last name.
I didn't
Anywhere
move here.
from-
I moved here 2016.
That makes sense.
So I feel like
yeah.
if that was kind
it
of
was
like
the Columbus
local
thing. Yeah.
type
yeah,
thing.
It's the local.
Take that.
It's the local lore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ross.
But
Like,
yeah,
how do you not
it's
know
just
this
like you can
story?
see, you can watch like the surveillance footage, and you can read all like what
Yep.
they tried to do to try to find him, and like all hands were like all feet were on the ground, all hands on deck, and just like never heard from him. They're just disappeared.
Completely.
So the
Went into Ugly
conspiracy-
Tuna. Never came back.
There's a few of them. One was the smiley face killer, but there's no body, there's nothing. And the other conspiracy was that they were doing construction within that building, and he was drunk, and he must have like fallen into like a pit,
I mean,
his
it
body
is
is
ugly
still
tuna.
there.
and then his body's still there. Correct.
What if in like 10 years they're like remodeling and they find a body? Wouldn't that be crazy?
I mean, he's got to be somewhere. The
Is it-
fact that there's
Allegedly.
it's not
Didn't
that
Ugly
he
Tuna
just-
close?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, they're
I
closed.
mean, they could.
They could tear it down now. It's
Let's
not just that he went
could be
missing.
sooner
It's
than-
that he went into a building
And, like, never
and
came
then
out.
went missing. Yeah.
Let's go investigate.
Okay.
If it's closed down, we can get in there.
I'm gonna hit the button.
Is that no? Yeah, let's go investigate right now. We still got 4 minutes. Who's pulling the thing?
I just went. It's
Oh,
your turn.
okay. Here we go.
Go, Ross.
Go.
This is such a charged episode.
Pizza.
What do you like on your pizza?
Cheese. I love just cheese.
Cheese. As long as there's pepperoni on it, I'll eat it. But I love me some green olives.
Ew.
What? Stop.
That's it? Just
Oh no,
cheese and-
pepperoni and green olives.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not an
will-
olive person.
I'll
in
eat like
general,
any
but
pizza as long as
I'm
there's
just.
pepperoni.
I thought that putting only olives would be very
no,
strange.
Yeah.
no, that's strange. You can toss me everything on a pizza. Honestly, I will eat it.
I'll eat anything on a pizza but olives and mushrooms.
I'm not a mushroom person. I'm not an olive person, so I feel like I'm pretty much the same.
Well, then we're
if
never
I'm
gonna
getting
share pizza.
anything that's not a cheese pizza, though, I love banana peppers, sausage,
Yes.
I go back and forth on sausage.
and then sometimes if you add like spinach to a pizza,
Ooh,
I don't know
yes.
why, but it makes it feel way more expensive.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it does. It does
yeah.
fancy
Like a
it up.
margarita pizza is always fancy too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know why, but yeah, it always just like
Or like an Alfredo pizza.
bumps up the class.
What
a
about
little.
pineapple?
I can do it on a Hawaiian pizza, but I have to be in the mood for Hawaiian
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm never looking for it.
I never want it, but sometimes I'll take a bite and I'll be like, damn, I really do
No,
get
that's
what they
pretty
need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here we go.
Someone who made a big impact on your life. Wow.
Ooh, a heartfelt one.
That's really nice.
okay.
A lot of people.
I know, seriously.
Where to begin?
Someone go.
Okay, my choir teacher from 8th grade up until I graduated from high school, I had the same choir director. I literally would have never gotten over stage fright if she didn't make me do a solo literally every single fucking concert that we had.
That's incredible though, because
She-
like,
She really pushed me, and I definitely I wouldn't even be sitting here right now. I wouldn't know you guys because I never would have had the balls to join a band and like perform.
Wow.
But yeah, she's just always been somebody that I like will come back to in my mind from time to time as somebody that I'm just like really grateful that was there.
I love that. Shouts to them.
Love you, Terry.
Terry.
Terry
Hirschman.
My choir teacher's name was Heather Shoot. And when I had Facebook, I still had her on Facebook. And she always posts her like new students, and I love to see
I have
like,
I have
Wow.
Hirsch on Facebook.
yeah.
I love that. Me next?
Yep.
You next.
I've mentioned my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Boffman, on the show before. So in lieu of not repeating that story, I'm actually going to go with a guy that I don't think mentioned before in any conversation like this. An old man named Dale, who I worked with at my very first job, which was at the factory where I listened to Joe Rogan often. That same factory.
Gotta get that balance.
Yes, of course. And yeah, I worked like evening shifts, so I worked from like 2 p.m. to like 10 p.m. So my life was just ruined. I had no life basically for that entire year. And it was like me, Dale, and like one old lady who just never talked, who worked in our area. So it was just us. And I spent like almost every day that entire year hanging with Dale.
Yeah.
And he sort of like adopted me as like a work grandson a little bit. And like, I just remember him being like he was like the work, like the Jedi master at work.
Aww.
Where he was
like
like
that.
he would often remind me like, hey, this job doesn't matter
Yeah,
that
this
much.
is
Like,
just work.
just do what you got to do. But like, I would share with him at that time, like my dreams and my goals and stuff that I was working on outside of the factory and stuff that I really wanted to do. And he was always like so supportive of that and would always be like that extra, like, you don't need to stay here. As soon as you can leave, you should leave. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, our managers would sometimes be shitty, and he literally would come over to me after, and he'd be like, who cares? We don't need to just do a good job. It doesn't matter. Like, I loved these certain types of chocolate chip cookies that came out of the vending machine in our break room. And like every day he would just wander up and he would just bring them back to me at different
Do you talk to him
points.
still?
I have tried to figure out how to get in contact with him. For a couple years after I left the factory, we kept in general contact. I don't know how to find him now. I've asked my grandma, who
This
like
is
knew
almost
him.
too cute to be real. I'm like,
I know.
nuh-uh, Ross.
Yeah, I know.
You're just trying to one-up my teacher.
And I'm hoping he's still alive. That's
That was gonna be my second.
That's almost
question.
my current.
Dale, if you're out there, find
There's
Ross.
no way
Help
he's
Ross
yeah,
find Dale.
come on, Dale. Hey, hashtag let's find Dale, everybody.
He's
let's
at
find it.
the factory and he's like,
Crooksville-
"That son of a bitch."
Crooksville, Ohio. Yeah. He's watching. He's listening to this right now. He's like, I fucking knew it.
Go get him.
Go get him, Tiger. Yeah, I don't know. I've tried to get my grandma to be a detective for me and figure out where
'cause
he's
she's
at.
old?
Yeah.
Well, she's old.
You're like, hey,
She's also got
you
what's
might run
going
in the
on.
same circles or something.
But she worked with him for longer than I did, and she also still
so
lives
she
in
knew
Crooksville.
the guy. Okay, I was
She's-
like, why would your
Oh
grand...
no, yeah, she.
All right, he's about your age.
Sorry,
Go out there and get
that's
him.
actually I am stupid. I forgot to add the context.
Is your grandma just
Guys.
a really good like Facebook sleuth? You need to elaborate.
Listen, guys, I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention. See, in my world, I'm like everyone knows all the things. My grandma worked at this factory most of her life.
Okay.
Like that's the reason
It's
I
coming
worked there.
together.
Yes.
Yes.
So she worked there. She knew this guy very well. She's not just a detective that I call upon for a mystery. Although I have told her about the Olive Pass incident and she is looking into it. So we'll see. She'll probably have an answer.
Thank God.
So yeah, one of these things I would like to be solved at some point, either Dyatlov Pass or Dale.
Which one?
We'll figure it out.
Pick one.
But yeah, that's one.
won't. So yeah, that's the
He's
wrap
gonna
on
go
that.
to bed. He's gonna go to bed, and there's gonna be like eerie music
Yeah.
playing in the background, and he's literally like, "Oh my God, which one would I pick?"
A devil and an angel. Okay, I have mine.
I want to know.
I was thinking really hard while you're telling your story.
So you weren't listening?
No, I was.
Okay.
I would say my next door neighbor, Jerry. She's literally an angel. She is so old. I pray she's not listening to this somehow. She feels the type. Like, she feels like the type. She, as soon as we, like, the day we moved in, she brought over the people that owned our house, like, owned our house. It was their house. We've only ever had 2 owners before us. The people that owned it before us had a tool. What's the place that
Belt.
sells tools? A place that
Home
sells
Depot.
tools.
Lowe's.
Ace.
Like a tool shop?
Hardware store.
Hardware store. Thank you. It's like specific words, right?
Dale
Like I
taught me
couldn't say
about
tool
those.
shop. I had to say hardware store.
Yeah. Yes.
So they owned one in town. And so our basement has like a lot of, like, the back of the basement has a lot of like how they could use like backspace or whatever. And she had a ruler that was sold at the hardware store. And the day that we bought our house, she took a picture, and there's a little picture of her house on this ruler from like the OG owners, and it has like she like did like a craft essentially. She like crafted, put our address on it, brought it over with a card and a letter and like all of these like places that we should try to eat because she didn't know if we were from there or not. That was like the day we moved in. She has since like paid me many times to do things around her house just because she knows I don't have a job. Her house is so whimsical, like genuinely her backyard is a secret garden. She literally has rocks that are painted like books for like the secret garden. She is just like this tiny little angel fairy old lady that I have the pleasure of knowing. And we've lost her husband in the time that we've been there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's just like, I feel like she adopted us before we were prepared, and now we've adopted her, and nothing can happen to her. You think you might be sad to hear about Dale? I'm going to die when my next door neighbor dies.
I'm not living next to Dale, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we already went through like her husband passing.
Right.
Which was, you want to talk about like soulmates and like the epitome of like really seeing two people in love.
Wow.
During COVID, for their anniversary, he had a whole quartet line the front of our street for her and brought her out on the porch. This was weeks before he passed away.
No way.
And they just sat there and held hands and just like watched this band. Like, I'm telling you, they were just like electric.
Oh, I'm gonna
magnificent.
cry.
That is incredible.
Yeah. And so I don't know there's things about her, and it's like I don't know much about her, but I take little things and I'm like, God, I need to make sure I implement that now so I can live the life she's living when I'm older.
Yeah.
Something that you're not looking forward to, like getting older and like, you know, just like whatever. And she has like truly figured out how to like enjoy like the little things.
That is amazing.
That's my girl. Jerry's my girl.
Wow.
Sorry.
I'm like tearing up over here.
No, me and Zach have been messed
people,
up. Yeah.
Old people, I can't do the old people. I can't watch them eat by themselves. I will literally, if I'm in public and I see an old person alone, I get so weepy.
So thankfully, Jerry's son lives with her.
Oh.
Otherwise,
okay.
I would live with her.
Fair.
Like,
Yes.
seriously, I'd be like, kids, I will come make sure you got everything you need during the day, but I will be over here.
I'll be next door. I'm your
Next
neighbor.
door. Yes.
I am your neighbor. Speaking of old people alone, do you guys remember the short? I don't remember what it was at the beginning of, at like an old Pixar movie
With
Yes.
the chess.
with the old guy playing
Life.
chess.
Of course. That's where it all began.
Yeah, he's playing like with his like brother or twin brother or whatever, and then you just find out he's playing by himself. I would cry as a child because of that short, where it's just this little old man having a blast
I do think we could
playing
have
chess by himself.
a whole episode about like the stigmas around like being an older person.
Oh God.
Yeah, we could.
Like, because
And it's
they
just gonna
are
be us
just
being
like,
sad.
yeah, we like being sad.
We do. What a nice heartfelt way to wrap up this episode.
What a fucking whirlwind. I feel like I have whiplash right now.
I know.
From the
We
beginning
went
of
from
the
somebody-
episode.
Joe Rogan is
She's
fucking
eating
crazy.
his cum.
That was a different day.
That was a whole different episode. We weren't even. That's weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys?
You know, we're a little out of reality.
What day is it?
We went all over the place in this
We
episode.
did.
But if you or anybody you know the whereabouts of
Mesothelioma.
mesothelioma,
Whereabouts of mesothelioma.
we think it got the ugly tuna guy
Yeah, we need to know about Brian. We need to know about Dale
and Dyatlov Pass.
and Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah. And Terry, if you're watching, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just want to know if you're watching. We know you're alive.
Jerry, Terry, and Dale.
Oh my
And we love
God.
them.
And we love them. We love each of them for different reasons.
Absolutely.
And that is incredible. Well, this episode was brought to you by Jerry, Terry, and Dale. That was-
Literally, we wouldn't be here without him.
Yes, we
100%.
probably wouldn't. I don't know if I would have made it through that year working at that factory if I wasn't hanging out with Dale every freaking day. So yeah, this episode's for them. Jerry, Terry, and Dale. This
We
one's
love
for
ya.
you. This whole season of Honestly Same was for you.
Never change.
Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that sort of stuff. Brittany, where can the people find us?
Honestly, same pod on Instagram, YouTube. No, they can't even find us on YouTube like that.
That's on my YouTube channel.
Instagram and TikTok.
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 All right, I'm going to hit that button.
That's a wrap.
Bye.